Hey everybody, Terry here with HVAC Maintenance and Supplies, or mainsupplies.com. Got some real hot weather right now, so just want to shoot another little quick video here like we always do. If your AC is not working, there's definitely some things you can check before you call a service technician and get them out for some expensive repairs that may have been something simple you could have fixed yourself. As we do in all of our videos, follow us on YouTube and on our Facebook page. But every video we always start out by saying, in any case with your air conditioning system, if you're having problems, or even if you're not from a maintenance solution, you should always do a maintenance on your air conditioner first, and every season. And of course, as always, we sell our air conditioning maintenance kits, that include the coil cleaner, coil coating treatment, fin cone for damaged fins, condensate pan tablets, brushes, air filters, air fresheners for your air filter. So again, always want to do a maintenance, and especially if your air conditioner is not working, that's the first thing you want to do, is get out here and make sure it's clean. You can see there's a little bit of cottonwood buildup on here, and even though you don't see stuff built up on here, there could be stuff embedded inside the coil. So it's real important to get in there with a good coil cleaner like this that we sell on there, and inject it in there, let that foam up like that, and then get in there and flush it out with a garden hose. Best is to clean it from the inside out if you can. But even so, if you get in here and you just go back and forth real slow and flush all the stuff out of there, that's better than nothing. What that's going to do is keep your amp draw down, lower your utility bills, and when you're going to start to have problems with air conditioning is when we start getting weather like we're going to have now, where you got heat indexes up around 100 degrees. Any little bit of dust and dirt on there is going to give you issues, and it may not cool properly. So definitely a maintenance. Clean this coil. So always double check your filter inside. If you notice any ice on any of these lines outside, inside on your compressor, or downstairs, water leaking anywhere, first thing you want to do is turn your thermostat to the from cool to off and turn it to fan on. It may take up to 12 hours, 8 to 10, 12 hours for that to completely thaw out, because it'll actually build a block of ice on your evaporator coil or indoor coil. So you need to definitely thaw that out by running the fan, because it won't work until you get everything thawed out. Then clean everything up, check your filter, make sure it's not plugged. Make sure that you didn't close a bunch of registers in the house, because that would be a restriction as well. If when you start it back up, you continue to have problems and it freezes up again, then you're going to want to get somebody out there to check the refrigerant in it, because you may have a small leak in there. We also have some Freon leak repair kits on our website for small leaks that can be a nuisance, where you're losing Freon every year. Again, that's mainsupplies.com, the Freon leak repair kits. Couple of rules of thumb to know if your system is cooling right. When you come outside and it's hot, you should hear that compressor running, which is kind of a low-key grinding noise. The fan should be running. You can even hold your hand over here. If it's real super hot, you probably have some issues with your coil as well. This is your liquid line, the smaller copper one. The insulated one is called your suction line. So you want to come out and feel these two lines when things are running too. This should be warm. The hotter it is the day, it's going to be warm, but should never be to the point where you can't keep your hand on it. If it's that hot, again, you probably have a plugged or restricted coil that you're going to want to clean for sure. This line over here, you can see how this was sweating. It should be sweating on a humid day, almost cold to the touch. Probably around that 50-some degree mark, 55, 60 degrees, depending on your different scenarios. And again, those are rule of thumbs for checking your refrigerant. Nothing can substitute putting gauges on it. And checking it that way. So if you come outside, you've checked your filter, you've cleaned everything, and you notice that this fan outside is not running, and your compressor, you hear it cycling on and off or making a loud psh noise, that could mean that it's internally bypassing in there because the fan isn't running. You can try taking turn it off, let everything cool down. When you turn it back on, if the fan isn't spinning, give it a little spin. If it takes off and starts going, you probably have an issue with your capacitor. The capacitor's function is to give the fan a little kick on startup, as well as the compressor. Another sign that your capacitor is bad is it may end up being bulged up on top. Capacitor is a relatively cheap, easy fix. You've got to be careful if you are mechanically inclined and decide to change it yourself. You don't want to get your fingers across those, two leads. Even if you don't have power, you can get a jolt off of there, because it does store electricity. And anytime you're doing any work on this, you should look for the disconnect box or the breaker and turn that off. The other thing they have inside of here is a compressor contactor. And what that does is when the thermostat calls for heat, a 24 volt signal pulls this in and it transmits the 220 volts into the compressor and the fan and starts running. So you can physically look in there. Sometimes you'll see the contacts on that contactor all pitted and burnt. That's an indication that you probably have a problem with that contactor. The other thing is just physically inspect all the wires. If you see anything that's loose, burnt, charred off, you can try to make the repair and put it back together. That may resolve your problem. It could be happening because of more significant problems with the compressor. There's also this low voltage wire that'll typically follow these lines all the way in the house. Just inspect that. A lot of times these will get hit by the weed eater or mice will chew through them. If you just see a simple break in a wire or it's skinned back, you can make that basic repair in itself as well, and that may take care of your issue too. So again, just a few simple things you can check. You know, if you feel like you're getting in over your head and you've checked those and they work, and unfortunately you still may have to call a technician. But definitely don't forget to, you know, purchase our maintenance kits online. We have 3 different size kits depending on how in depth you want to go. A basic, a standard, and a deluxe model. And even if you think you might not need one of these right now, in the future you may get some hail damage and need this or this handy little brush for initially getting off the heavy stuff before you clean it. It's a nice stiff bristled brush, works great for the evaporator. So again, mainsupplies.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get all the updated videos. Give us a like on our videos and our Facebook page, and definitely share them with other people so we can you know, let everybody know about this. All right, Terry signing out with HVAC Maintenance and mainsupplies.com.